Hey Huskies, welcome to the October installment of HTV Monthly. I'm Kelly Helmer.
I'm Susan Schmidt.
In this extended segment, Hersey's media tech class in HTV News write, produce, and film a variety of Hersey stories for everyone to enjoy.
In this month's episode, get ready for Halloween with our take on Nightmare on Elm Street, sat down with a student from the app design class, took a look at the seasons of your favorite Chicago sports teams, looked behind the scenes of a local haunted house, and got the inside scoop on the newest musical coming to Hersey.
So sit back, relax, and let HTV show you these stories from Hersey and beyond.
Halloween is fast approaching. In celebration of the holiday, HTV revisited a classic story filmed within the school walls.
Don't worry about the tag, go and throw it in the bag, 'cause I got it good. You're the best I ever had, baby, you know that you're bad, and I got it good. I'm certain that you're worth it.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yeah, I just got stuff in my locker real fast.
Okay,
I'm gonna go pull up the car.
Thanks to everyone involved in this production, and we hope you enjoyed our rendition. Next, did you know a Hersey student had an app published in the App Store? We sat down with John DeTillo to hear about the creation process.
So, long story short, 4 years ago, myself and all the other teachers in District 214 were trained on app development. And since that time, we started a class here, and it's just exploded. We've seen like an 800% growth across the district in app development. And the kids just start with absolutely no experience in computer science, and from there, we try to get them to design apps every single day. As many days of the year as we possibly can, make as many apps as they can.
Right now I'm in an independent study with Mr. Brown, so what I do is I give him some things that I'm working on, and then once I finish those, I take that to him and show him what I've completed.
Well, John from day one, you could tell loved doing app development. You could just tell his brain got it, from day one. And not to say that other students can't get it, sometimes it just comes naturally at first, and other students have to work at it, and eventually I've seen the light bulb switch. But John from day one got it. He's always been that type of kid that wants to figure out the problem and figure out it better. There are times where you'd explain it, well, you could do it this way, and he'd have a different way of thinking about it. And that's a wonderful thing in app development, because you don't have to just take what somebody tells you. You can kind of figure out your way. It might be longer, it might be shorter, but it is your way of thinking it through.
So I was diagnosed with diabetes in January of 2015, and I searched on the App Store for good apps that I could use every day. And what I was really motivated by was that I found that there were no apps that just combined every function you need as a diabetic into one app. So my app is Dialogue, and it is for type 1 and type 2 diabetics. And the main function of it is it uses a database where you can search a restaurant and then a specific item on that restaurant's menu, and it will search the whole database, and it's going to return relevant items. So you can click on those, and it tells you how many carbs are in them, and you can tell the app how many you're going to have, and then it'll take your carb ratio, which is something the doctors will give you when you first get diagnosed. It will divide the total number of carbohydrates in your selected meal by that carb ratio. And what that does is it tells you how many units of insulin to take, which most diabetics take by injection. So I think that people, once they see what Dialogue does, they will realize that it really combines everything you need into one app for diabetics. Before I made this and now use it, I was constantly switching back between calculators and nutrition apps and sugar log apps, and now that's all in one with Dialogue.
I'm so proud of John and his development. I've always thought about John. He's that kid that you teach a concept to, and then you kind of get out of his way. You know, he's going to take it and run with it, and he's going to make that idea and that concept better and better through his own hard work and determination. And he might come back here and there to ask a quick question, but the majority of the time he just wants and desires to be successful, and he's made himself very successful.
Been on the App Store for just about 30 days with no real advertising at all. I'm hoping that other diabetics will use it to help save them time.
Make sure to check out Dialogue on the App Store today. Next, our hallway crew talked to students and teachers about the beginnings and endings of the seasons for our favorite Chicago sports teams.
October. It's the only month where us Chicagoans can enjoy our Bulls, Bears, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox all at the same time. That's why I took the halls to ask Hersey students and staff what they thought about their favorite teams and what they're up to. Let's go. So the Bears, they're 1-3. Do you think the season is over already?
No, I do not.
Why is that?
Because they should have beaten the Falcons, but they just dropped a couple passes in the end zone, so that could have been a win against a Super Bowl team, and they look good. And now we have a new quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky, and I can see a lot of potential in him, so I think we're saved.
About Trubisky, do you think he has the capability to be really good, or do you think he's going to be a flop?
I think he has the ability to be a great quarterback, just the thing the Bears are looking for, and we'll see if he could prove to us that he's the best.
When do you think the next Super Bowl is in the running for the Bears, and can it happen with Mitch Trubisky?
Well, he's apparently performed decent lately. The next Super Bowl, hopefully within 5 years or so. They would definitely need to rethink what they're doing now with their new with new players, new strategies, anything like that. How they begin to start whole new program, something new. Something has to change.
Mitch Trubisky is a good football player, but I don't think he will lead it to the Super Bowl.
Do you think the Cubs should re-sign Jake Arrieta? Is it worth it?
I think it's worth it just because he's shown he could dominate in the postseason, and that's what we need him for.
What do you think they need to do this offseason to rebuild to the 2016 level?
They definitely need to work on the bullpen and maybe getting a couple more starting pitchers that are more solid than the ones that we have. Our starting pitchers this year were very sometimes inconsistent, and they're starting to come together for the offseason though, so that's good.
They just got to keep on getting at it, keep on getting stronger players, whatever they did the off season of 2016, they got to do again. I'd say definitely batting practice is pretty important. I'd say they're pretty strong fielding, so I'm not too concerned about that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, they always work on that batting practice.
What do you think of the White Sox changing their stadium name from U.S. Cellular Field to Guaranteed Rate Field?
I don't like it too much.
I agree. When do you think the Sox will next win the World Series?
Never,
Why is that?
because I hate the Sox.
All right, so the Blackhawks, when do you think they can return the cup, and do you think it will be this year?
I hope it's this year. Every year I hope it's this year. The additions of Saad and Sharp, just make our team that much better. It's exciting to watch them, and of course, big Hawks fan. So every year I hope it's this year. Bring the cup back.
Think that bringing in Sharp and Saad was a good move for them?
I think it was a good move. I mean, they're expensive, but I think it was a good move for the most part.
What's your opinion on Van Riemsdyk going to Vegas in the expansion draft? Do you think that can affect us a lot, or do you think it'll just be a minor thing?
Well, I think it'll be a minor thing. I think there's plenty of other pieces on the ice, I should say, to be able to account for him being gone. Obviously, it's a big hole, but hey, we've got other forwards and other skilled players that are going to definitely pick up the hole that was left by him.
I think they can. They've made some good pickups over the summer, and they seem to be playing well together.
Well, the Bulls, are they rebuilding or are they tanking?
The Bulls are rebuilding.
Why do you say that?
Because they're horrible. They're not very good this year, and they need to get some new players.
And you think that them losing Butler and Wade affected them a lot?
Wade's old. Butler was young, and he was good. Wade's old, though. I don't care about Wade.
That's it, Huskies. Looks like our students and staff have some very conflicting opinions about our sports teams at the moment. I sure am excited to see how they'll do in their upcoming seasons. This is HTV Hallway. I'm Cash Gardner. Thank you very much.
Enjoy having all your Chicago sports teams while you still can. Next, are you and your friends looking for something scary to do to wrap up this Halloween season? Check out the behind the scenes on how everything works at House of Torment in Morton Grove, Illinois.
Today we are here at House of Torment where it's spooky season in Morton Grove. It's only 30 minutes away from Hersey. Tonight we came here to get scared and to have fun. I'm scared.
House of Torment is a unique house. It's a very large house, 40,000 square feet, and it's unique in there because our actors can go several rooms at one time, and they will get you over and over and over again. So we put attention to detail, but that's most haunts do that. Our actors who never quit, their energy level is second to none. I've never seen anything like it. Instead of just scaring the first person in the line, we make sure we hit the middle of the line and the back of the line, and then rotate back to the front of the line. So the whole group gets scared and not just the first person. Because if you see it, it kind of gets boring. So we hit, and then hit. We have a lot of techniques to get them over and over again.
As far as our themes, we have 2 attractions. So the first house is called the Swarm. You're going to get a lot of infectant, mutant creatures, bugs, slime, something just a little bit more offbeat than like a traditional zombie sort of like house. And then our second attraction is very playful. It's essentially an abandoned high school where a cheerleader during the fall harvest dance has possessed her students and is trying to take control over them. So you're going to experience a lot of loud noises, being startled, some great actors that really get into their character and have great dialogue. So ultimately, all the work that's put in throughout the year culminate into the show, and you can really see it pay off in different ways.
A team of management come together and work with a concept. So this season our concept was the Swarm and Harvest Festival. So we created this concept, created these character ideas, and sort of went from there. So for me with wardrobe, for the Swarm side I made bug mutants and mandible mask things and bug claws and things like that. So just building, constructing, altering, distressing.
planning for 1 month. So the makeup manager pairs with the wardrobe manager, the performance manager. It's just a really team effort to come up with the themes for each year. With those themes, we are given some reference photos, and we use those as general guidelines for each character and each attraction. Once the artists become more comfortable, they take a little bit more of a creative twist on each look, so we just get better and better as we go along.
That's when we start planning again, but we do have some off-season events. We have Zombie Apocalypse Live, which is coming up. We have some matinees coming up on the 21st and 22nd of October, and then we have night shows on the 11th and 12th of November. And then we'll start planning for the next season, but we also do a Krampus off-season event, usually at Melrose, but we'll all go together. Then we do a Valentine's X show, and we might do a slasher event, and then we start building again.
Blackout is an off-season event, so each of our locations nationwide usually have it once or twice a year. So Blackout, essentially you go through the house in pitch black. There is no light. Your group goes in with one glow stick as your light source, and it is from there that you make your way through the entire haunt. So it's very spooky. It's definitely an opportunity for your mind to play a lot of tricks on you because you cannot see anything.
Be sure you check out the Blackout event on November 3rd and 4th. For HTV News, I'm Ariana Tenorelli.
Make sure to check out one of the many off-seasons events that House of Torment has to offer starting November 3rd and 4th. Next, Shrek is coming to Hersey, and HTV has the behind the scenes of the upcoming musical.
Hersey's version of Shrek is different from the movie because, well, first of all, there's like the live aspect of it. It's not on a screen, it's in person. So there's like interaction with the audience, and just having it up front and close is way more fun and personal.
It's different from the movie in a lot of ways. There's a lot more dancing and it's a lot more energetic than the movie is. Also, it's a musical now, so there's a lot more singing and dancing.
Well, I'm going to be green, so that's pretty fun. Expect the general Scottish accent, and Shrek is a very complex and crabby character, so expect that.
I think that the audience is expecting a whole lot of sass and some funniness going on. Donkey's is super stubborn, funny, rude, but also so kind. He's just a great character, and I hope that I can bring all of that to him.
You will expect Fiona to be kind of manly in a way, but also a princess, so she's pretty bipolar throughout the whole show.
Expect a big, small, snobby little man with high expectations for everyone and not himself because he thinks he's better than everyone.
My favorite scene would probably have to be the end of Act 1. I sing with Theo and Maggie for like the last song of Act 1, and I think it's a really powerful song, and it's a lot of fun to sing with them. So.
My favorite scene, personally, is the scene before Freak Flag, because although it is a musical number and it's speaking for the characters, it really, in context, is speaking for a lot of people. It's talking about fighting back against a power that has been evil to you and just so mean and cruel. And I think that really delving into that, it's just a very powerful message.
My favorite scene actually isn't our scene. What a surprise. It's a part, and I know it's today with Maggie Muglia. She hits this high note. It's like talking about her waiting. And honestly, it's a wall of sound, and I was blown away every single time she hits that note.
I think the hardest part has been letting go and just being kind of crazy, because that's definitely what Fiona is. She's like bipolar and kind of all over the place.
The hardest part for me in the rehearsals is just being on my knees. It's a completely different thing for me because I'm usually taller than everyone else, but of course the tallest person is now the shortest person, and everyone looks down at me, which is great. It's fantastic.
I'm so excited because being an ogre is fun. Being an ogress, that's what I am.
Honestly, it's like a dream. It's so fun. I grew up watching him, and he's just so funny, and I think everybody loves Donkey. It wouldn't be the same show without him, so it's super exciting. I'm pumped.
Come watch Shrek.
Shrek is playing November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Tickets are $10. That's it for this month's episode.
To stay up to date with HTV, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at JHHS_news and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And from all of us here at HTV, see you next month. Keep the cameras rolling and have a happy Halloween.